Yo, the situation just keeps getting crazier. Jonathan Kuminga had some spicy words for the media. He is frustrated, mad, and apparently calling out some teammates. In today's video, I'm going to break down exactly what he had to say, how this might impact the Warriors if Jimmy Butler is not playing in Game 3, and I've got some updates, more Warriors players added to the injury report. Yay! But before that, hit subscribe right now. If you want the Warriors to win on Saturday, hit that button. Less than 30% of you who watch these videos on a daily basis are subscribed, so just hit the button. What's up? Also, by the way, I'm Arthur Ballesteros, still sick as a dog, but yeah, we got a lot to talk about here. Warriors fam, come in close. We need to talk about this Jonathan Kuminga situation because it is really starting to get out of hand here with what's going on, and I want you to tell me what you think about this with Jonathan. Is his head in the right spot? Can we trust him? Because this is the quote that is starting to get headlines. I hate the fact that everybody's telling me to be ready, get ready. I already know that I'm ready. The more you keep telling me to get ready, it becomes kind of irritating. Hey, Jonathan, why do you think everybody keeps telling you to be ready? Could it be the fact that you openly display that your head isn't really in the game? Why is it that Draymond Green, Steve Kerr, the Warriors media, 90% of the fan base has had to call you out for apparently not being ready? And I mean, I want to follow up here with what Steph had to say because Steph called him out as well. He had this to say here where Steph in an interview says, so that's the challenge. And it's always been for him to see the pictures, understand the intensity that's out there, try to be in the right spots defensively. And then when he has the opportunities to be aggressive on the offensive end, take them. We trust him when he has the ball in his hands. And however many minutes he's out there, be ready to play. I think you're lying, Steph. I don't think that you trust him, but that's a video for another day. But this is clearly a pattern, Jonathan. There's a reason why people keep saying to be ready, because you're not ready. Because I would like to present 3 exhibits into the court here, Your Honor. This is Exhibit A on Jonathan Kuminga not being ready against the Rockets here. Goes in for a layup and throws it over the backboard. Were you ready to play then, Jonathan? Or how about in this, when you have zero offensive awareness, miss a cutting Guy Santos down the center of the lane for what would have been an easy dunk, and instead pass it back out to Buddy Hield? Were you ready then? Or were you ready on defense when you're defending Fred VanVleet and you let him blow by you and then foul him in the back? Were you ready in any of those instances? I say no. And I say that there's a reason why people keep calling you out for being ready. But you tell me, do you think Jonathan Kuminga was ready? I mean, he scored 11 points, but it was an incredibly inefficient night. Is he going to be ready to step up in Game 3, especially if Jimmy Butler is not out there? Also, is there a reason why Pat Spenser, Officer Pat, the guy who looks like he just walked out of a 24-hour fitness pickup game, is there a reason why he outperformed you and he was more ready? I mean, a lot of people point to this as being a problem with Steve Kerr, not Jonathan Kuminga, saying, Steve Kerr messed up the rotation. He's not playing the minutes. He's giving him a bunch of DMPs, not playing them. Pat Spenser plays like every third Tuesday. Why is he ready to play? Why is Guy Santos always ready to play and put himself on the line there? It just doesn't add up here. And I mean, I would like to point to this stat. I think this is a useless stat, but I do want to point to this here. Warriors 0-3 in the playoffs when Jonathan Kuminga plays more than 20 minutes. So I guess we are hoping to not see him more than 20 minutes. And I know that I'm coming off sounding like a Jonathan Kuminga hater. I am not. But I also think that when you're consistently called out for not being ready, sure, it may be kind of frustrating, but you have to internalize that and ask yourself, what are you doing? And one of the reporters actually asked him, they're like, well, what are you doing to stay ready? And he said, well, I'm practicing. That's the bare minimum, dog. What are you talking about? Practice? We're talking about practice? What are you talking about? Anyway, I just think that we have a problem. I think he's checked out. He wants out. I mean, he's going to make a great Brooklyn net next year. And hopefully Cam Johnson comes back in return and we can work out a sign and trade. But I just don't think that that is the mentality to be having right now as you're in a heated playoff battle and you're getting mad because people are telling you to be ready when you consistently show us that you are not ready. But I don't know. Maybe you're seeing this differently than I am. You tell me down in the comments here. There is other news to get to today. We did get an update on Jimmy Butler, but also now seeing that Gary Payton is added to the injury list. This is from Anthony Slater. He said Jimmy Butler and GP2 are both questionable for game 3 versus the Rockets tomorrow night. Payton has a right shoulder strain. Brandin Podziemski isn't listed on the injury report after battling that recent stomach illness, aka food poisoning. That's the word on the street, that he got food poisoning and nearly S'd himself during the game. Had to get an IV. Anyway, that's a whole nother story here. But looks like he's going to be back. Gary Payton, I mean, this fool is just such a trooper. He is going to be playing no matter what. And I think the same for Jimmy Butler. I think, we got some great news yesterday with the MRI results. No fracture. It's probably a go. It's playoff Jimmy time. They're saying it's basically just a pain tolerance issue. So I fully expect him to suit up. Let me know down in the comments if you expect him to be playing in game 3. I'm gonna put $100 on it right now. Somebody, first person in the comments to take me up on that bet, I will Venmo you $100 if he does not play tomorrow. I think I just made a huge mistake. Anyway, okay. Also, what else do we have to get to here? Oh, yeah. Okay, so this was the update from Sam Gordon, who writes for the San Francisco Chronicle. He was watching practice today. He said the Warriors conducted a short practice today at Chase Center after a lengthy film session, which I hope Jonathan Kuminga was paying attention for. Anyway, so Jimmy Butler worked off to the side. Per head coach Steve Kerr said he's relatively optimistic that he can play Saturday against the Houston Rockets in game 3. So good news there. I think that the Warriors, as long as Jimmy is playing, as long as, by the way, sorry, I'm sick. I don't know if I said that before, but my voice is just ripped to shreds. But I do think that the Warriors have a great chance. They're coming back home. They're going to have a lot of energy, momentum. Just got, a couple distractions here on the side, but we'll see what happens. If you hear that baby screaming in the background, hit subscribe right now. Do it for the baby. That is my child in the background there. Last thing I wanted to get to today, because this was hilarious to me. Draymond Green, we talked about it the other day. He finished 3rd for Defensive Player of the Year, but he still got an award today, baby. He got the Timu version of the Defensive Player of the Year award, getting the NBA Hustle Award. This is for awards that don't, stats that don't show up in the box score, setting screens, deflections, things like that. So he got the Hustle Award. Dre is always hustling out there. And that's the thing about this Warriors team. It's a team of hustlers. Jonathan Kaminga, why aren't you ready? Why aren't you hustling out there? Anyway, I just thought this was funny because the Hustle Award is really the Walmart version of the Defensive Player of the Year award. But anyway, man, my baby is hyped up for game 3 on Saturday. You all should be hyped up too. I can't wait to see what is going to happen. Tell me your thoughts. Warriors, they get the dub? They get the dub in game 3? I'm going to put my money on them. I'm going to put my money on them. Don't have any money, but I'm going to put it on them. Anyway, I got to go. I'm basically dead. I need to be resurrected here. So I will talk to you all tomorrow for the game. Hopefully I have a voice. Peace.